of July, and it is a Friday. So happy Friday trading, everybody. Sometimes in the summer, Fridays don't give very much, but today they sure did. These indices all took off, didn't they? They've been on a nice, the one I've got up, I have not had a chance to trade today. If I ever say I'm going to move again, I hope somebody just ties me up and shoots me because I can't do this anymore. Anyway, I find it very difficult to believe in new construction that you could have a brand new septic tank back up, but that's what we have here. So needless to say, I've been just a little bit busy this morning. However, it looks like there were some really, really nice trades. And there's been some great stuff put in this chat. So if you have a chance to scroll back through this chat, Lori has been on her mission here to get everybody to mark their charts. I cannot tell you how helpful that is. What you're doing, this is a matter of training yourself to recognize things. And yeah, you sit there and take the little course and watch the videos, and Daryl does it, and John does it, and then the little videos, and it looks like, oh, well, that's a piece of cake, I can do that. And then you start trying to do it. And the reason it looks so easy when it's on the video training things is because whoever's doing those has already trained their eye and their brain to see what it is they're looking for and literally let go of everything else. And pretty soon you don't even, it's just a bunch of noise. It's like listening to, you know, some radio station and the commercials come on and you just kind of tune them out. So Lori made a really great point in here too about how newbies were easier to teach to trade the Apex system than veteran traders. It's because you're starting with a clear slate. And I'll go one farther. For those of you who have children, you know who's the easiest person in the whole wide world to teach to trade? Is a child. Because one single thing, they follow the rules. Kids are used to playing sports and whatever it is, but there are rules. First time you take a kid to the baseball game or the football game and you tell them how many players are supposed to be on each side and how it works. And in football, you know, you've got 4 tries to make 10 yards per down. And they understand. They know what the rules are. So when you explain the rules to them, these are the rules, this is what you do, they get it. They get it a lot faster than adults do. So don't give up. The thing to do is to mark those charts. And I did that on 4 markets every single day for 2 weeks. It took me about a half an hour to 45 minutes when I was through trading. I marked every single trade, whether I took it or not. That was not what I was looking for. I was looking for, if I got in at the optimum place, where would I reasonably get out, and how many ticks would that be? And so my question to myself was, if I learned how to do this, was it worth my time to learn it? Was it worth my time and my money to put into this to learn it? And boy, what that proved to me in 2 weeks was unbelievably worth your time. Certainly was mine. So, and if you are taking losing trades, there is either something you don't see or you have misunderstood it, or you know, this is not 100%. It might just be the market just did something. because nothing is going to be 100%. But boy, it is really, the Apex tools are really, really accurate. And I would say probably somewhere between 85 and 95% of the time. The little stuff comes later about where you learn kind of to think like the bus driver thinks, because a lot of people come to trading and they are pretty sure that they can control it. And you have no control over this whatsoever. The bus driver has all the control. But there are a lot of little hints and tips of where the bus driver is likely to go. So once you learn those entries, the entry, I cannot tell you enough, the entry, the entry, the entry, the entry. If you don't get the entry, you don't have a trade. It's just that simple. There's no trade to manage. You need a fireman's hat and put that on and join the fire department, because you got a fire and a potential disaster. So anyway, this morning we had some serious news right at 8:30. I don't know how many of you were in this room or watching your charts at 8:30, but the economic news numbers came out, the employment numbers for both Canada and the U.S., and the dollar, gold, bonds just bolted right then. And then they retraced. And the dollar and bonds went the other way for a minute, but then they got going. This morning I put, I know Lori has talked a lot about the chop box that she puts on here, so I'll show you on this C's chart. This was about 8:30, and I had started watching this much earlier. Certainly wasn't 3 o'clock in the morning, but about 7:30 or 8, and it was doing, crude oil was doing exactly nothing. So I thought, well, let's just see here. And then I noticed it went down here, and I wasn't too insane about the time of day. It was 8:30, right at news. I'm not too keen on jumping into something right then. But there was a nice little move here, but then it just stayed in this box for almost 2 hours, pretty close to 2 hours. What I would love to have, and you can put these on here if you've got the patience to do it. I'll show you how. When you make a little chop box like this, or bad country containment, if you go to indicators, there is a diagnostic price alert on here somewhere. Current price, maybe it's down here in the P's. Yeah, price alert right here, this thing. If you put that on there, you can put price, let's just say that's about 45.50. We'll just put that in. We'll put in 45.50, and I'm going to make it some color we can see here for a second. I'll make it bright. I don't know, here's white. Okay. And let's make it something we can keep track of. We'll put this at 3 so it's nice and big and fat. Okay, give this a second to load. You can put as many of these on as you want to. So for instance, if you've got monitors, magnets on your chart, you can put these on every magnet line if you want to, or 2 ticks away or 3 ticks away or whatever it is. But for instance, this thing, you can adjust it. You can put, half a dozen of them on it. Doesn't matter. But you can put this right down here at the bottom of your chop box or at one of the major streets or someplace and just park it there, say 3 ticks above where that is. And that thing will make a little doorbell sound when it gets to that price, and it'll catch your attention so you can look over and say, aha, it's breaking my chop box or my bad kai country or whatever you call yours. But that is a really helpful thing if you're watching multiple charts, and you can see an E or a P. If you all, I don't know if you know this, but you can go into your indicators, and on the apex elite pattern, you can get an audio of the E formation. And I do like the E's. So I hope that helps. I start doing other things and forget about putting these alarms on here to alert me. Very helpful. Another thing this morning, most of you know I really like bonds. Let me get this out of our way here. Bonds just did a wonderful, wonderful thing this morning. Tighten this up a little bit so you can see. But look at this. This is a reasonable time frame to be trading. Right here, it took from the red ice line, and then there was I like the trend catcher on here just for confirmation that that is a valid entry. If you're new, be careful about that, because that entry can put up some false ones, like right up here you had an E and then the trend catcher thing, and you even had a trend catcher error. So be careful of that, but I use it as a secondary thing. I like a bigger picture. But anyway, down here, and then the 50 and the 8 EMA crossed and even touched back to it right here. And my goodness, that thing went. I mean, and it didn't take it very long either. This was about, what, right in here just before 9, and by 10 minutes after 9, it was all the way up here to this deviation level. So that was just really very cool. And if you monitor your 30-minute candle charts and you see it start to retrace, then that's exactly what it did right here. And you had another one ready to go on down. This is just wonderful. But the news this morning really did it. So yeah, and John makes an excellent point in the chat that you don't need to be jumping around and jumping around. You need to get focused like a laser beam on one thing. Do not try to learn all this stuff. Oh, well, it looks easy. You know, here's the rules. I can sit down and do it. No, it doesn't quite work that way. Absolutely learn those rules. Rules are like manners. You have to know what they are before you know you can break them. So learn those rules for that strategy. And if you find yourself struggling with that strategy because it's difficult, there are little tips for you, like change the colors on something, because it may be that your eyes are just not adjusting to the template. Background colors. Sometimes the indicator colors. Don't go crazy, but because you forget what they are. But get things adjusted to what your eye can see. And then once you have that, you can recite those, write them down. I cannot tell you how many times I wrote down rules and kept them right in front of me for weeks and sometimes months. And I double checked okay, did I do this? Have I got this? Okay, this is okay, this is okay. It's like a little checklist. And you may not get as many ticks as you wanted, but at least you will have taken an entry correctly. And Daryl keeps saying over and over and over, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how well you trade. Focus on how well you trade and the money will come. And I truly, truly believe that. So, let's see, we've got the VIX. It's really come down. It's trading 1360.61 right now. And that's kind of a little backup system there that tells us that all these indices, all four of them, are playing very well together today. They're not in a contest to see who can be the black sheep. They're moving right in conjunction with each other. Monday, not too much in news on Mondays, which is typical. But let's see, Tuesday, we're going to have the JOLTS jobs is out at 10 on Tuesdays. Mondays and Tuesdays tend to be a little slow, but I believe this is the second, it'll be the second week in July. So bond auctions are next week. 10 years on Tuesday, 30-year is on Wednesday, and we'll have, crude oil. Wednesday is a lot of Canadian. They're doing their, the Bank of Canada has got their rate announcements and their monetary policy report. That can affect the price of oil. Not wildly, but if you do trade crude oil, I would certainly pay attention to Canadian economic numbers. And then Thursday and Friday is the, 7 o'clock Thursday. For those of you who trade the Forex or Nadex even in the early morning, there might be some good trades coming out then. So when the market has moved like it has this morning, we've had, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, we've had 4 hours of it going straight up. The last hour's kind of been a little slow, but then it's lunchtime now. Typically in the afternoon there might be some profit taking, but I would not be looking for a reversal this afternoon. And I have a question here, Sonia. The VIX is the VIX, and it's a volatility index. The common, it trades, but it's not anything you'd want to trade. But I monitor that because the common use of that thing is the fear factor. When it is above 15 and headed higher, you're going to see the bears start fighting the bulls to be in control of the markets. And we've had the VIX up to 25 and 30, and boy, there were some really nice short trades on the indices. But that's a quick, it's like a thermometer. You're just taking the temperature to see how much fear there is. Security markets do not like fear. They don't like indecision. They want everybody playing well together and everything just humming along. And if anybody throws a monkey wrench in there for any reason whatsoever, they just say, all the bus drivers get together and they say, you know what, we don't like this so much. So that will, and if you're a beginning trader, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I try to track it and keep everybody aware of about where we are, because it indicates if the bulls or the bears are running the show. And right now, with it coming down into the 13s, the bulls are in control of the market. That doesn't mean you can't short it, but watch those indicators to tell you when. And when it gets like this, and especially if you're a new trader and you see it start to head down, wait for another E entry, because what it's doing is just bleeding off some profit taking. And let it do that, and then it'll get another push up and you can get back on the bus. So anyway, I think that's about it for today. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. And next week I should be settled back down to trying to trade a little bit. And I will try to put these